Hey there guys, it's Rennkamel again and welcome to a very special video, and I'm so happy that I can finally release the time-lapse building stuff I've filmed from it. And yeah, basically most of you have already seen it and some of you might already know. If not, you may have seen it from the title, but in this very special time-lapse we are going to build some props for the very new scenario in the 1.3 update, the Goldmine tower. And yeah, basically some of us have been asked by Frontier to kind of help them out with providing them with a few props for this park. And it was a special briefing we got, and we had a little bit of a chat with Bo and Sam as well, what they're gonna do. Actually, we didn't know much, to be honest, so we didn't get spoiled or so. We just had a little bit of a briefing what this park looked like, and we had no idea what they were gonna do with it. But yeah, so it is, in the end, it's a big honor to be able to make stuff for a scenario. So like everybody who's gonna play the game someday and play this scenario will see our buildings, and alongside me a few others have been building a few props like AdfoTV and also Hexer0 and also Silvarret, and I guess Kimatacks, if I'm not completely wrong. I hope I didn't mess up there. Sorry, I should have looked it up before, but if not, I will put it down in the description as well, so you can look up their stuff as well if they have. I don't know if they even have it published in the workshop, but after the update went live, I think it's fine to put those objects in the workshop as well. But nevertheless, let me just talk you through this a little bit. I'm not going to make it to the entire video because it's a long footage of 24 minutes. But basically what Sam and also Frontier asked us to do, and he has already described this in the Wednesday livestream as well, is to build some Western sets and some Western buildings to make kind of this Western main Swedish feel, but also have a Western town, which is in fact like an old movie set. So it's not gonna be like perfectly full and finished buildings, but it's more or less like functional buildings with a front facade and some support in the on the back side. So that's what I was about to say. And yeah, so pretty much that was all we were asked to do in inverted commas, because at least you know that if we are asked to build something, we might go crazy. So there was also the restriction to keep it simple on the pieces count and the poly count, obviously. And I'm totally fine with this, because I would love to go crazy, but I think first of all the Western theme offers you the best possibilities to build with a low count on polys, because those pieces in the game, they are just so good for Western buildings in general. And I pretty much think that this is also you know, I try to avoid sometimes to use all the pieces for their purpose and try to mess around with other pieces to get some more interesting and new looking stuff into. But I think it's really hard with the Western theme, because the Western theme is just so good that you can actually use it for what it is supposed to be. And yeah, basically this is why I don't have that much trouble to actually go in with a low count of pieces while letting it look kind of detailed in the end as well. But yeah, so the first building we are actually building at the moment is a big saloon, which will be also the biggest building of all those buildings I did. It's basically the idea about this building was because we were also asked to have some facilities inside, or at least to leave some space for some facilities, and the other ones you will see will also always have the facilities on the outside of the building. But I wanted to have the saloon that you really can go into and have some swinging doors to the right and left hand side, which are actually not functional, but you know, I just wanted to have them there because I think that's one of the most interesting things of a saloon, like those saloon doors, those swinging doors. I love them, to be honest. It's like, you know, all the Western movies you can see the cowboys are just going into and pushing away those swinging doors, and it's kind of a dramatic feel to it when it's going to be swinging back in the background while the big and strong cowboy is standing in the middle of the saloon and watching around, and you kind of just hear the little squeak of the swinging doors swinging forth and back. And I kind of like this, and I think in every good movie set or Western movie, you need those swinging doors and a saloon, and I kind of wanted to do this first. But then later on, to spoil already a little bit, because well, I just already said it to you, I'm not gonna do the entire commentary. First of all, because I don't want to spend that much time into this commentary, and because it's pretty long, and it's, yeah, I don't have that much to tell about this, because after just giving you now the introduction, there's not just much more to tell about this. Or maybe just a little bit more about the Goldmine tower scenario in general. I've heard, and that's also the same thing as you guys know, I've heard that this will be a very hard scenario, and we already saw the park as well, with the big weenie in the middle that Silvarret does. Of course, weenie, Silvarret. I mean, I already said this should have been called the Goldmine weenie scenario. That would make sense. Anyways, just kidding there. I'm pretty sure I never played scenarios that much, to be honest. At the beginning I tried a few, but you know, I'm a sandbox guy, and I might go back to this scenario just to play this scenario because my buildings are in and I just want to look at it. And I'm also going to play the other scenarios one day, I'm pretty sure about this, but at the beginning I just was focused on experiencing the game from its sandbox mode perspective. But yeah, in the old theme park simulation games, I always played all the simulation and the scenarios as well. So I might look into this someday. But for now, we are keeping ourselves head down and just make a lot more in our sandbox projects, because there are just so many more projects to do. And yeah, so that's it basically. The saloon is nearly done, so we are now jumping into the next footage, I guess, in a few seconds, but there are a few things I will just add to this saloon, because it will also get kind of a little bit of a backstage area, where we have some bins and some rubbish and, you know, stuff like yeah, connection point for electricity and stuff like that, because I thought it would be nice to have at least a little bit of realism going on the backside of it, because we were asked to have those sets like in a real movie set, and that it kind of, as I said, shows you at the front how it looks like in a real western area, but on the other hand side you can clearly say and tell that this isn't a real area and it's just a set or just a theme park. I mean, if that makes sense. But yeah, those what you can see over here is just the beginning of the swinging door. I tried to mess around a few things with little pieces, but I wasn't too happy with that, and at the end I stuck with this version we are going to build right now. I'm kind of happy with how it turned out. In the end, I just wanted to use those little wheels to make it a little bit roundish at least. But yeah, I think the only thing that bugs me is the little plank which is sticking out on the downhand side, but the problem was I couldn't think it in too much, because then it would be sticking out on the other side, so I left it there. But here you can see I'm now preparing the actual supports, and I made those as single buildings, so in the end those supports can be reused for every building. So I thought maybe if Sam wants to support a little bit more facades, or if there were some buildings who haven't got any facades or any supports, then he could just simply use those supports all the way around. So I made those single buildings as well. But now you can see this will be the backstage area which I've talked about, with the little electricity connection point over there, and just some random stuff all the way around to make it look a little bit messy. Like, if you know, people won't see this area, so you can leave a little bit of stuff over there. It's not that big of an issue then, and it's just like a little nice backstage area, you know, with a little bit of a fence going on. I was trying to, but I guess I didn't do this at the end. I'm not too sure about it, but yeah. So just to throw in some stuff here and there, just to make it look like it's actually a real theme park which has a backstage area and a backstage, yeah, maybe I just say backstage again, that makes things better. No, it doesn't. So yeah, I think you got the idea about the saloon, and it's already done, and I don't know which building is next. Hopefully we're going already with the, I'm not too sure, because there's one special thing in this park I have built, which in this park, sorry, in this for these props, and I don't know if it's this one. It might be this one, so I just stick with that to say a little bit about this, because I'm really happy with the end result. Yo, it's actually this building. I couldn't remember which it was, because it's already a few weeks ago since I've done this, but this is my most favorite part about the entire props I made, because this is definitely a hard thing to do, but at the end I'm pretty happy. So my idea was, in a good western area you definitely have horses, and every horse in the western area needs a saddle, but we don't have a saddle in the game yet, and I wanted to create a saddle, and I figured that a few pieces in the game were just screaming to be used for a saddle, and I found these little stuff from the sweet candy tab, which you can use, and they have such a nice texture to it that it really looks like leather in the end. So it's not leather, it's, I don't know what it is, but it's some kind of candy texture, but in the end it's looking really nice. And you could also use those ropes to get in the ropes texture a little bit. We can, as always, use the pipe to have some little things going on, and also those little Christmas pieces. If you do color them in a pretty dark color, they stop to glow too much, and they just look a little bit more subtle and a little bit more flat, and that also gave me the chance to make this kind of area where you actually sit down in a saddle. And I wanted to create kind of this western saddle as well, with the high backside, so it supports your back a little bit more. Actually, I think it wouldn't be a saddle of the real old western time, it's more like a modern one, but you know, I think at the end the most important thing was that you can see that this is a saddle, and I think actually this is something I achieved at the end. So yeah, that should be it with my commentary, guys. Should be enough for now. I just wanted to wait until the saddle is done, which is actually done now. And so yeah, enjoy the rest of this little kind of special video with all the props I made for the park. I actually have no idea if all of them made it into the park. As I said, I also just saw the video as you did from last Wednesday, but just using this again to say big thanks to Frontier to allowing me and giving me the chance to build stuff for the for a real scenario. That's a big honor, and I can't wait to get my fingers on it and see. And obviously I also can't wait for the update in general. So yeah, see you guys next time in the next video, and enjoy, all of you enjoy the update coming next week. Bye bye, guys.
dreamed of distant places and of jumping random trains 1,000 times. She craved the sky that let her know she was home. An endless sky that left the stars alone to shine beyond her life. That sky showed her some way home. Counting the trains to and from Coney Island every night, searching in vain for salvation in a city full of lies. She craved the sky that let her know she was home. An endless sky that left the stars alone to shine beyond her life. That sky showed her some way home. I'm still here amidst the fallout of our life. I'm still here living with her She found a sky that let her know she was home. An endless sky that left the stars alone to shine beyond her life. That showed her some way Well, my wife comes from the south side of Chicago, and when she first brought me back in '94, down in the basement of her childhood home, I found an old guitar. She said that was my great Uncle Bill's. I guess he left it to my dad. I remember after Bill lost his Kentucky farm, that Gibson was all he had. But he said, I'm not scared of the changing world or losing anything we are. 'Cause I rate high distant good times every time I play